Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Disky. It's a new week. Everything is nice. Hope you guys have had a wonderful weekend. Looking forward to the rest of the week. This is your boy Walter. Once again, we're back with another exciting episode on the podcast. Yes. And I just want to send a shout out to the new members, the guys who've been subscribing. Appreciate you guys. Those guys who've been watching the video from the first minute to the last minute, really appreciate the love and support. Please don't stop there, guys. Please share the video. Please do comment on the videos if you have a difference of opinion, respectively. And just grow the community at large for those Disky fans who are actually enjoying the topics and what we've covered so far. So far on our side, today I'm going to change it up a bit because usually we're chasing. Remember, this is a podcast, so the point of this podcast is to have an extensive or a lengthy conversation, not just having snippets, 10-minute interviews, not really interviews, but 10 minutes topics or conversations. So for the segment today, I want to make it longer, at least like push it to 20, 25 minutes, 20 to 30. And we're going to do a trial run for the next couple of weeks to see if you guys love the conversation that maybe it's a long conversation. And we're going to be covering, obviously, your Dstv Premiership news. This is in preparation for the fact that, sorry, the league is starting in 12 days' time. So, yeah. And before we start, guys, please don't forget to like. Need to remind you guys because I know 90% in terms of my analytics, 90% of the people who actually subscribe or 90% who watch the video or the videos that I drop haven't really subscribed. Please, before you move forward or before you press the next button, just make sure you like and subscribe and also click on that notification bell so you'll be the first person to be notified about any video we're going to be dropping on a weekly basis. So for this segment, we're going to be calling it Football Mondays. So Football Mondays, obviously, we're going to be sitting down, having a chat, looking back at what has happened so far in your DSTV Premiership news, anything that's worth talking about, and see where it ends up and it lands us in. So the first thing I wanted to discuss or maybe cover at this point is the transfers. The transfers so far. Because let me fix the lighting. Okay, make it so hope it's clear. Look, the transfers so far. The teams have been busy. Namely, your biggest teams in the country: Sundowns, Pirates, and Kaizer Chiefs. So that's usually the teams that we talk about on a weekly basis. So they've been busy. They have been busy. Oh yeah, before we go any further, special shout out to Banyana Banyana. As you know, the FIFA Women's World Cup had actually started. They played their first game Sunday in the morning at 7 a.m., I believe, and they actually lost at the death against a top number 3 team in the world, which is Sweden. Shout outs to them. Shout outs to I forgot this girl's name who actually scored. Uhilda Magaya. I think that's how you pronounce her surname. All the best to Banyaman moving forward. We believe in you guys and shout out to you guys. They lost actually 2-1, so it's not a bad score. So yes, back to the topic at hand. So look, Pirates so far, they've actually signed. And hey, and I heard rumors about them wanting to sign. Who's this guy? Remember, there's a goalkeeper from Midontal Stars. The goalkeeper played a very good game against them and had a good game against Yamazulu. Like, I think he actually managed to take them all the way to the semi-final. So that goalkeeper guy, actually a good goalkeeper, doesn't deserve to be playing in the APC. What is it? Gauteng championship. So they didn't get promoted, but it could be his luck. Pirates have been monitoring him. There's been rumors about them possibly signing the goalkeeper. Forgot his name, but if you go back to videos, man, just go back to highlights, you'll see that guy. It's a very good goalkeeper. He's just skinny, but in terms of his experience and character, personality against a PSL club, he started saving them from his super sport, and now against Amazulu, that guy was the difference. Apart from Abosipo Paloni, who now is at Pirates as well, He was a standout star in the team. So we've heard rumors that they might be negotiating a deal with it on all. So all the best. Hopefully he can. But now since they've signed Ubutile Melusi, I hope they're not stacking up too much because that guy is not really that young at the same time. And you still have Ofori, you still have Sipo Shaine, who's had a fair season, but obviously he's not really given enough game time because I think he came in at a time where Punchani, Nai Ofori were injured, Punchani was off form. So Buthelezi, we're thinking is an addition Vele who can actually solve their goalkeeping problems because he looks good on his feet. Looks like someone who can help them to build from the back, and he doesn't look like he's timid, and he's well built as a goalkeeper. So handling is quite good. Timing as well. Remember in my previous video, I did mention Amasteto where in the first run, first leg of the season, last season in particular, he actually had a good season. So, having to, include goalkeepers there, I just hope it doesn't hurt Melis's chances because the competition could be really tough. But I understand them having to sign younger goalkeepers because Ofori is a bit old, Ponjane as well. Probably they're going to be playing their last season this season. So maybe it's just another opening that we can see. So all the best to them. But let's go back and see what Pirates, what kind of business have they conducted so far. So remember, they have signed Usipo Baloni, the confirmed signings now. They've signed Usipo Baloni, Patrick Masangani, Melusi Bitelezi, Katleho Otladisa, Zakel Lipasa has come back from loan, and also the goalkeeper just mentioned now. So those are the okay. That one is pending. It's not yet confirmed. And also, there's been rumors about Tulisedi Kaping. I will get to there. But I want to confirm or I want to talk about the business they've conducted so far. So they've beefed up the goalkeeping department, which is more like the defense. They've added a number 6. Sipa Palon is going to be adding to that 6, meaning he's going to be competing against Makaula, Umakahleni Makaula, and Mikel Team, and obviously him Pingyam. So if we were to gauge how far the preparations are and where these guys are going to be playing in regards to Katlego, Tladisa, and these new additions. For me, the outstanding player that I've seen, I haven't seen much of Katlego, to be fair, but I know his quality. He's going to be, I think he needs more game time because the other games, we haven't really gotten a proper glimpse in regards to how far they are. But Patrick Masangani has been raising his hands, eh? Patrick Masangani is, so he's there. At least he's is a player to look out for. So I will know Chebosaling if they're not giving or they offer him because if we can be honest, there were times where Saleng as well, you would be concerned about his performances because yes, outstanding, but consistently there were games like when he was playing against Chiefs, it would be no way. You would forget or you'd forget that okay, Konji this Saleng. So I'm guessing in those areas, in pockets of plays where you have a depth of form probably in these players, maybe these kind of players can come in and actually add value because instead of having just X amount of players in one position, you have to have quality. And with Patrick Masangani now, it surprised me because I really didn't understand the signing. But when you look at him and you look at him playing, like, okay, sharp. I see what you guys are trying to cook here because now we see also what the coaches are trying out and with new systems and how they would like to play and the identity of football, the brand of football they'd like to play. So he's a natural winger. He plays. He's left-footed. So I guess if we don't have a Marco or a Dion Horto coming from that side, because but wing play. Look, I won't really say that it's not really the best brand of football for them to play with having now to have lost to Huchu Kamanja. But we have evidence. Maybe they need that width and maybe a bit of long balls. But I love how he is able to take on. He's not afraid, to take on players. So Patrick, for me, from these signings that I've seen, Usipo, Balloon, I haven't seen much. But the Patrick, I like what I see so far. So looking at the current squad that they have and these additions, uh, you can smell a couple two here if I were to make a bold statement from Pirates, because they've already have experience, players who've actually been there, and with the players that they're bringing in, young and a bit of experience. So you can tell that they've identified the areas that they'd like to see, because they were the one thing that they short of is goals, man. Defense solid. Oki, Smisi, they're coming along well. They're building a good partnership there at the back, and with the formations that they've been changing, with playing a more of a flat three and having Aboshandu being wing backs, Nabomark and Dion, they could give you a good balance. So it's just about the kind of quality that consistently they can produce, and we know they can actually produce. That's one of the things I see that's going to help them a lot. And what we've seen, obviously, in the middle, Pirates is going to be difficult. I'm not yet sure if they can challenge Sundowns at the moment, but so far so good. I don't want to lie. I think what they can avoid is injuries, of course, and the only thing they can be concerned about is dip in form, because now there's no time to say the coach is new. Coach has won 2 cups. Standard is going to be very high. It's going to be expectations are going to be very high at the same time. So here it's just about combinations. It's all about keeping the squad healthy, and also see if they can actually improve on the season that they've had so far and whatever preparations that they've, because you didn't spend this much. This is an investment. If you're going to go all the way to overseas, that's a good campaign. So for me, it's all about how they're going to be shaping up and setting up their players and seeing if how they're going to use the squad. How are they going to transition Abu Otladisa, which I think it can give them either assist or enough goals for their campaigns, and maybe individual brilliance sometimes, apart from Loach, the usual suspects, Abu Vincent Pule, they're still there even, Abu Ndlo. So there's enough depth and quality for them to have a cup or two. The league is debatable, but I'm seeing them in the top 3 or top 4 there. So that's good business for them, man. I don't really wanna fault Pirates in this instance. We've seen a lot of good things from them, and with the technical team, they've formed a very good relationship, and we can see that they work well together. And with the experience and the wealth of knowledge that this coach has brought in into the technical team, and Mandla Ncikazi as well. So for me, Pirates, apart from the jersey, I don't see any issues there. I actually see them giving East Sundowns at least problems, headaches at least. And yeah, the one signing I wanted to talk about is the Lisedi Kapinga situation, because he's a free agent, and Pirates has been a popular name popping up in the sense where there is possibilities of them actually signing him. So it's close now. They haven't really made. It's just a rumor, but it looks like the likely possibility either is going to be Swallows or it's actually going to be Sundowns, because we know that Ulokuzan, Steve competitors that side. So I'm thinking he's part of the negotiations. I think it's just about the money. But my issue is if he comes, because we know this is a company is a good player. But when you look at what they're trying to build, maybe they feel that they don't need him as much. But you can never be too sure. You need enough quality there in attack, especially when you have aging players as like Loach. Like it's not a young player anymore. Vincent Pule as well, and maybe with having to have a player like that, give him a season or two, that continuity. It's something that they can rely on, and actually if the new signings don't shape up the way they would thought they would, because Abu Erasmus is still there. So you need enough players to really boost the squad if you really want to win everything or challenge for each and every cup that you're playing in. And I believe Ulisele Kapinga has enough experience. So let's see, maybe this week there'll be just wind. So we're keeping our ears on the ground, and just for it's going to be interesting for me to see where he's going to go. But I don't really see an issue for him going to Pirates. That's actually a good team to go to. Looking at the fact that he's been with Sundowns and he's actually not been given his flowers or the enough game time and the opportunity to actually show his talent. So that's one of the things very interesting to monitor and see. But yeah, you tell me what you guys think. You can just leave a comment as well. What do you think about these kind of players that they've signed? Do you think they can add value? And Lisedi Kapina coming up, do you think him as well? Do you agree that he may add a bit of value? Do they need him at this point? And I'm interested to know or to hear your thoughts as well about the latest acquisition or these rumors going around. So let's move forward to Sundowns. And before we go there, like I said, before if you're joining the video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on that notification bell so we can we'll continue to post this nice content. So Sundowns at the moment, just hold on. Yeah, Sundowns at the moment as well. Going to them. Um, well, look, there's also been chat, talks around the players that may actually land on Sundowns' radar. And Sundowns doesn't play around. These guys, the checkbook is always open. And we've just heard Cassius Mailula has been sold to an MLS club. I think it's Toronto FC. So obviously, I mean, for the fee that they've paid for him, wow, like 30 mil, I heard. That's good. And it makes sense now with the signings that they've made so far. So just to go back, they've signed or they've confirmed. Sorry, guys, about that. I needed to charge my sound card. It actually ran out of battery. So, yeah, we back at it. Hey, where was I? So, yeah, we're still talking about Sundowns, né? In regards to the players. I'll just go back because I don't know where I left it. I don't know where. And I need to change venues as well. So remember we said, or they've announced that the Pirates, Sundowns have actually signed Lucas Ribeiro from, he's a Brazilian, South American, but he has actually been playing in Belgium for the second division. Lisibangu from Murray McGallants, Juna Mendieta, and Tapelo Maseko. Now, looking at this team is very, very strong, né? In a sense that they are six-time champions. They've been winning the league for the last 6 years consecutively. But now the thing is, they already have enough players. Like, this is just an attack. I'm not talking about defense. I'm talking about an attack or where they've actually beefed up because they haven't actually signed a new defender for the coming season. Last season they did add, but this season no defender has been added so far. My issue, all these players are young, apart from Chuna Mendieta and Ngu. And obviously, you're looking now when thinking, who are they going to be benching? It's good business, but sometimes, or to a certain extent, I think maybe it's unnecessary. The only signing that makes sense to me is Umaseko, Tapelo Maseko, since Cassius is going to be playing overseas. Sharp, that makes sense. Then they need a new young player to contribute the same way. But remember, Mailula has been developed by Sundowns, has known the culture for the longest part. And we can only see him improving from his performances in the past season. So Umasego, the thing is, he's been having a good time there at Supersport. We don't know the kind of adjustment that he has to, or how long it's going to take for him to adjust to Sundowns itself, especially with a team that has high expectations. These people compete for everything if they must. And it's going to be interesting because the technical team has been changed slightly. I could say it's been thin, or it is thin now. There's no co-coaching at the very least, but Ulokuzan, it's going to be a test for Orlando Mukwena. We don't know if they're going to add an assistant coach, but for him to bring the best out of these players, when you're looking at Mendiet, I think is an experienced player, and I don't think those kind of players need coaching much. But also for them, Mendiet I'm doubt. I'll say this because he's been carrying Stellenbosch. Stellenbosch, I think, about top 8, if I'm not mistaken. I need to check my stats to show you with Mendieta, assist and goal contributions is one of the top 3. I'm still surprised is why this guy didn't take midfield of the season. I'm still really surprised. But so far they have Timber, Zwane, they have Neo Maema, they have Gaston Sereno, they have Katlego is still there, guys. It's not called. They have Umkulisi, they have Cassius is gone. Morena banokumdlala lapha phambili as well naye. But let's call him a defender for now. Who else? Okay, obviously they have one striker that is left because Kifin Tuparedi is left. Peter Shalil is still there as well. I'm looking at the wing. I'm trying to look at the people who are playing in 10, left wing and right wing. So there's so much quality that still needs to be. They still have a lot to give. I've named just a few, not all of them, but it shows how many players Sundowns has, man. Like I really don't. Lucas Ribeiro, nah, he's been added. There's Ayend. We've heard rumors of who's this Ethiopian they signed? Abu Bakr Nasir. Apparently, he's going to be loaned, and he's just signed, and he hasn't really played that much. Now he's a player we're still yet to see what he can produce at Sundowns. You still with this kind of dilemma that I'm talking about, but I think maybe it's because injuries as well has actually affected the season, and them having to dig deeper. There's Umbuli as well. There's Uzungu as well. But maybe Bazomsebenzi is a six. We don't know. Maybe they've opened up space. That's why maybe Ujali needed to move out. But as you can see, there's too much headaches there, man. And they've added young players. Abuntando Nkosi. I don't know if he signed a professional contract or not, but you can already see where I'm going with this. There's too much quality in just in attack, the attacking players that they have. I'm yet to see how they're going to use all these new signings. Are they going to be forced to use them at once? Are they going to be forced to give them a couple of minutes, some first half? But who is going to be their strong starting lineup? We know they love to change when they're going to CAF. They have to give other players a chance. But we need some sort of consistency in the lineup to some extent. And are all these players going to be kept happy now? Playing a couple of minutes, first half, they know already I'm going to get substituted. When I'm all Sundowns, you can't play 90 minutes or 89, you know? And all these players, mind you, they can be individual, as they can win you games, funny enough. And that's one interesting thing. That's what I'm saying when I was talking about Pirates. I don't think Pirates has enough to challenge the Sundowns at the moment, because the only way Sundowns can lose is against themselves, where they get it wrong in terms of the lineup, which this time is very difficult to do because they've added too much quality. Are all these players going to be consistently on the ball for 30 games or more, considering the fact that they're going to be also playing in the African Super League, CAF, and all the other cups? So it's for them to lose. I think Orlan has said enough as well to make us understand the kind of expectations this team has. They're very hungry. And look, for me, I think it's the foundation that they've built. This is why it's going to be very, very difficult to play against Sundowns, because I don't think it's about the coaches. It's all about, I mean, the sporting director, Fleming, and the technical team that they have. Even if Rolani can move tomorrow, go to another team, the person they're going to still bring in is going to be top quality, because they know what to attract or who to attract, and how are they setting themselves up for success. And that's for me the secret ingredient in that team at the moment. It's not only about money, but it's just that now they must be careful not to be a Chelsea or a Real Madrid, where they just add quality and not develop or give the player that they've signed enough time to settle in. Because now already you come into a team, next season there's another player in your position. So that also does rub off few egos. And manje boy, that's why you have Abu Lisedi Kaping moving out, because and I'm missing names. Some of the players, man, who were there, and I think they left. This is why now we feel like every player that comes from Sundown is a star, because some of them haven't really been given enough time to really get the enough minutes. I mean, Abu Zungu, they left with 3 years in their season. Come on, and for them to play the way they've been playing, or being played how they've been playing, and they were waiting for that and all this, and this guy comes from Europe, man, it's sad. But That's the kind of reality you find yourself when you're going to a Sundown. That's why I'm worried about Abu Chapelo Maseko, being young as he is, coming in now, because we already know they have to build space or create space for Lucas Ribeiro, Tuna Mendieta, because supposedly they're internationals. And how does he help us in the national team if he doesn't get enough minutes that we needed? He was thriving there at Supersport. He's not playing against anyone. He is the star player. And a season or more, they've already, if Sundown is looking for you, definitely European teams are watching. So for me, I agree with most analysts saying that, look, I think Naichu Naushi, it was an early decision for him to go to Sundowns. I don't think even him saying maybe it's about the money, it's enough to really justify that move. But for me, if you had to look at the transfer window, for me, what I'm giving a 5 out of 10. It's not to say I'm undermining the quality. It's just to say they have enough. I don't think they need to stir up the pot too much. They already have, but obviously I think it's about them winning the transfer window every time. I don't know why that's the case, because maybe, okay, selling Mukeshas and Liseli Kaping are being out, but they haven't really lost a key player. And maybe also the fact that they have aging players, young players coming in, and having to buy them now early on and actually keeping them for the next 2 to 5 years. Maybe it makes sense. So it's good business for them as well. We're not exactly sure if they are done. Ne? We don't know. We're just speculating because there's like almost 2 weeks left for the new season. So that's my opinion and that's my 2 cents. Again, please don't forget to like, subscribe if you like what we're talking about, the conversation we're having. And yeah, leave your comments in the comment section and just give me your thoughts in terms of what you think. Now, the last topic I'm going to talk about is obviously Chiefs. Chiefs, we talk about this team almost every day, guys. Let's go back. Pulumodi, Mtanzane, Castillo, Potsane, Ranga, Ditlhokwe, and Msimang. Potsane is not a Kamapiliat. We've seen that ourselves. The match that he played and we saw him, I'm not undermining him because it's very early. I'm saying this because of the fact that, remember, these preseason games, they don't say anything. They just give us an idea of what we can expect. We are speculating here how the season may go. I don't think it's enough for us to make a decision and saying, yeah, this team is ready, that team is not. It's just for us to as football lovers, to really look at the signings and make up our minds and see what, okay, because they still need mileage, they still need enough game time, or maybe 5 to 10 games at the very least, maybe 7, to really see the kind of business that these teams have done, to see if was it good business, was it necessary, and how are they actually using these players they've actually signed in the transfer market. But Potsani for me, no Modi, no Rang. I'm actually excluding the defenders at the moment because uh, Kaizer Chiefs good defense. I think you can only be good in one area. They have to start with one area because in the last season I don't believe they were okay everywhere. It either was the midfield, it was the defense and attack. But they were playing good, to be fair, in other areas. But those are the kind of things that we can also be worried about. So with having to have young players like Tutusi Mishabalala and Ulo, Uzwani, the young Zwani, and those are the things maybe these players we need them for. Potsane, Modi, Mtansane, and Wanomun. Yeah, in terms of attack first. Yeah? Maybe because there's times where you look at the bench and these kids are not giving us what we need. And the game that maybe it's games that we really need to win or wrap up. So experience comes in there where they can actually give us what we need, get the results at least, right? And obviously give these players or just relieve them of those duties so they can continue enjoying their game and improving where they need to improve. So Modi looks sharp. If you guys watched that game yesterday against young Africans, Modi is going to give us goals. Modi is going to be, trust me now, I'm telling you, Modi is going to be our billiard. The guy looks hungry, he looks revived, he looks at home in the Chiefs. And that's what we need, and that's what we're hoping, expecting, because we've seen him in Golden Arrows. So, looking at him, I'm looking at good things. What I love about him, Tanzania, is just one thing. Tanzania, he leads that press in attack. He's the first who triggers the defense to, so that they can release the ball much more quicker. So that's where the defense starts. You are as good as your attack, but the defense starts from the attack. So that's what I'm saying, that I'm focused on these guys, because when there's Apotoli Bavilapa, guys, Pilat, Toli, those guys are lazy at times in actually starting to press in front and consistently. If you watch that game, at least for 30 minutes, Yanga wasn't able to build the ball from the bank comfortably. They needed to shoot it long from the sides and actually play much more quicker. And if it's rushed, if it's a rushed build up, and they are forced to come back, build from the behind again, and make more mistakes. So at least now, Mtanzane as a leader, as an experienced player, you can have that more if you can't get it from Motoli. And that day, if he decides to not play for us, at least we can sub, and we have such players. Potane, maybe I won't be too hard on him, but that number, that jersey number he's wearing is very heavy. As much as he hasn't won anything, but Bilal really respected the jersey. So one game is not enough to make up our minds. But he's not average. He's actually good quality. So Castillo as well, Ashman. Good things there. Good things we're cooking there. For me, guys, I've seen tweets and people saying, "Hey, Chiefs, hey, take it, this, take it, that." No, no, let's relax. It's pre-season, pre-season. So there, for me, if I can give you a verdict in regards to transfers before we talk about how the game went, good business for Chiefs. I think they need another striker and another six CDM, or they just convert either Ustebe, or one of them has to make a decision between the two. But for Chiefs this time around, if I had to make a comparison based on between Pirates, Sundowns, and Chiefs, who's actually won the transfer market, for me, in my eyes, I've said Chiefs have won it. They've actually beefed up their squad very well. Question mark is how they're going to be using it, because they've all around signed in key players that can actually change things for them, because they already have one or two players in their squad that can actually make a difference. So, looking at the preseason friendlies, or the games that I've played so far, Pirates have won 2 out of 3, and on their side, it was a good tour, a European tour, if you will, because they played against Abu Maccabia, Tel Aviv. Um, they've played against the South American side, and they played against the European side. So it's a good test for them. So well done to Pirates. I'd give it to them. So far, Sundowns have already started this week, so they've already drawn one, and they've won one as well. Just a game they played today, so they've won 1-0. But that team, what is it? Go Ahead Eagles. The team, guys, is pop. But anyways, in terms of their preparations, so far so good. I guess Kaizer Chiefs have already played one game against Young Africans. All of us were watching that game. They lost 1-0. Here's the thing. Preseason is not anything, it's not a reflection of how the season is going to go. Preseason is just to tell us how far they are with their preparations, just to see, as you saw with the game, if you're watching it closely, there were a lot of mistakes players were making. You can tell there's a bit of rust. They were first touches, they were very too high, and players were actually making a lot of basic mistakes. So it tells you that in terms of fitness levels, psychologically, mentally, even physical. I mean, Dover was having, I think it was a hamstring or something, cramps, and they were playing a 90-minute in a much more bigger field than these other two teams have been playing in terms of their preparation. So it tells you that that's what pre-season is about. It's not really high tempo, intense kind of football that you should be playing. It's just enough for you to test out tactics, players getting a good run, being relaxed. Unfortunately, Kaizer Chiefs had to play against a sold out arena. So me now would just say to guys, relax at the moment. Preseason is all about preparation, preparing the team enough to get them ready enough. And remember, Ranga didn't play, Dupree didn't play, Wandile Duba didn't play. Who else was injured? Happy Mashiane didn't play. So they had maybe 4 or 5 players they were out because of niggling injuries, according to a report. So maybe against Township Rollers, we're gonna see more. But that's all I can say about everything in regards to the previews and how the DStv Premiership is shaping up. So the next video I want to be able to drop is just to give you, just to have us talk about so far. If maybe they've finalized the signings, because we've seen so far that these are the most of the players that they've signed is the players we're going to see. And now we want to be able to rank them and see who's actually going to, who is my top three. So that's one of the things I'm going to be talking about moving forward. So I want to leave it here because, hey guys, we can talk for so long because, the game and there's so much to be played. But all I can leave you with, this season is going to be a very, very interesting season so far, as I've seen. Tomorrow, there's going to be an announcement. Heat is dropping their merch, the home and away jerseys. We can't wait because there's been leaks. Now there's been 2 leaks, so we don't really know if that leak is it is that, or maybe it was just a publicity stunt. We don't know. So certain people have been leaking jerseys, and there's been so many concepts of the Kappa jersey. So that's going to be interesting to see. Hopefully by this, when by the time this video has dropped, we would have heard the news. So we couldn't exactly see. But look, for me, guys, that's all I have. Like I said, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep on tuning in. Hope you watch the video until the very end. If you're watching it, just know I love you. I appreciate you. I'm at work at the moment as I'm shooting this video. That's why I had to change even. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. See you in the next video. And like I said, this is just a trial run to see if maybe having long form content helps, so that we can have a much more in-depth conversation about the league itself, and obviously the DStv Premiership and the clubs and South African football at large. So this is your boy again, Walter. Thank you. See you in the next video. Shap shap.